Hi everyone. Good evening. It's me, New York vocalist Benita Charles. Sorry about that. I'm just trying to get the lighting right. How is everyone tonight? Hi, I see I have one person join. Hello, how are you? It's me, New York vocalist Benita Charles, here for another episode of Singing Tips. It's a beautiful, I was going to say winter, but I think we're moving into the spring, but it feels like winter. Beautiful evening here in New York City. I hope everyone is having a wonderful weekend, a wonderful evening. I'm at my favorite place, the Brookfield place. I just love it here. And it has such a great energy and vibe. This lighting is not happening, but I guess we're just going to have to make it work. So how are you guys doing tonight?
Get off the steps.
Oh, hi, darling. How are you, sweetheart? I'm so glad you're here live for Singing Tips. This is the Your Image section. We're still in the image. Hi, Yvonne. How are you? Thanks so much for joining tonight for another episode of Singing Tips. I hope everyone is having a wonderful evening. It's a beautiful evening here in New York City, and we're just here for Singing Tips. So we've been talking about your image for the last few weeks, and we're still talking about your image. But before I get into the content, I just wanted to give you a little bit of background of Singing Tips. Every week I give singing tips to beginner singers to help them become professional. My name is Benita Charles, and I am a vocalist here in New York City, and I share my experiences. Okay, I might have to move because it's a lot of stuff going on around here.
They said we can cut through here.
There's a lot of ruckus interrupting my singing tip broadcast.
I better go.
I guess it's all right. Sorry, guys. Bear with me. There's a lot of activity here in New York City. Always something going on. Oh, well, I think we're all right. Oh, hi, Nambako. Hi. Thanks for joining. Another great jazz vocalist on the line. So thank you, guys. Oh, hi, Kevin. Thank you so much. I really appreciate your kind words. Yes, I'll definitely have to keep on singing and giving the singing tips to everyone every week. We've been talking about your image, and I wanted to, before I go into that, I wanted to just give you a little bit of background of singing tips. So if you're new to singing tips, I give these tips based on my experience as a singer for beginner singers, because I had a lot of singers come to me and they just didn't know what to do. They didn't know where to start. So we started from ground zero in terms of not knowing anything about singing, what to do to be professional. Now the tips that I give are more performance-based and business-based. As far as technical skills, I recommend the singers to go to a certified vocal teacher, and they will give you breathing techniques and to help you with your singing itself. But my focus is more so on the steps you need to take in order to take your talent to the next level. So that's basically what these tips are all about. And the way I designed it is based on a movie that I saw. Every week I talk about this movie, and you guys know it. If you've been following me all this time, you know I'm going to talk about Get On Up, the story of James Brown, because that movie was so inspiring for me, and it also just made me think about singing in a different way. Hi, Mia. How are you, darling? It's so good to see you. Thanks for joining Singing Tips. I'm just explaining to everyone the basic background in terms of how I'm organizing this show. And every week I talk about the story of James Brown, Get On Up, because it was such a great movie. But one of the things about in the movie, James wanted to be music executive, as well as an artist. and he talked about show business. So that's why if you hear me talk about the show part, the business part, there was a part in the movie where he wanted to branch out and take a more executive role in his career. And his manager, played by Dan Aykroyd, said to him, "This is show business. You take care of the show, I take care of the business." And James Brown said, no, I'm going to do both. And I thought about that. I said, you know what? That's so true. Because there is that show part. And throughout my career, that's what I focused on. I studied opera in school. I learned techniques, and then I had stage experience, but I never really thought about the business part. And the business part is just as important, or sometimes even more important than the show part, because the business part is what's going to help you generate income. So that's why we have a show part and a business part to singing tips. Right now we're in the show part. So far we've talked about your talent, we talked about live performance, we talked about your original music, and now we're talking about your image. So all of the tips in this section has been about your image and all the elements of your image. So we covered your appearance, and now we're talking about communication. Last week we talked about, what was that? Effective communications was last week. And there were 3 points to last week's message, which was number 1, speak clearly, look people in the eyes. You know, when you have your interviews and when you're greeting your fans. Number 2 was be authentic, and number 3 was to practice in the mirror, because it helps to just practice. If you're like me, I'm more of a written communication person. I really like to write, so it may be good for you to practice. Also, I'm involved in this organization called Toastmasters. I don't know if you all have ever heard of it, but it's a professional speech organization where you practice your speaking skills every week. So you can go to Toastmasters.org and find a club in your area, and it's a great way if you want to work on your public speaking. It's a great way to do that. So that's part of, as an artist, you got to communicate. You have to be able to speak to people. You have to be able to communicate your message, which brings us to this week. We're talking about communication, and I wanted to talk about your message. And when I was working on this, I was thinking, I hope I don't come across preachy, but I want to talk about your message. Now, as an artist, everything you do, you should have a backstory, a message that you want to portray to your audience. For instance, for me, and you've heard this before, but my message is to touch the world and make it a better place through music. Also to inspire, to empower. So that is behind all the things that I do. And I have, each artist has a unique gift or message. The official message is to make music and entertainment that ignite passion in people to change the world. And then I have a question: how do they change the world? They change the world by being who they were meant to be, sharing their greatest gifts. And I encourage everyone, even non-singers on this broadcast, to live your dreams. So that's basically my message behind everything that I do. So I have 3 points. So the first point is to identify your message. So that's what I did. This is my message that I want to give to the world. And so basically to inspire, and to touch the world, to inspire people. And number 2, incorporate your message in everything you do. So for my music, I have songs like the Freedom Song. You guys know these songs. Can I Touch You There? Keep the Faith. What was the other song? We Can Make a Difference. So all of those songs are inspiring songs, and hopefully they touch people. Number 2, social media. Oh, I got a thumbs up on that. So you know some of these songs. I know I've been singing them for years. Social media. Now, every day I give a post. I know you noticed this. I change my wall every day. And I have a reason behind each of these posts. So it takes me sometimes hours to pick stuff because I like to pick things that jump out at me. And every day of the week is a different message. For instance, Mondays and Wednesdays are success messages. So I don't know if you noticed this, I have kind of like a method behind these messages. So Monday and Wednesday is anything dealing with success and motivation. Tuesday is an inspirational day, so it's usually something about life is beautiful, you are beautiful, that kind of thing. Thursday is gratitude, so every post on Thursday is either thankful, gratitude, or something like that. Friday, Saturday, Sunday is weekend, have a great weekend post. Believe it or not, those are one of my popular posts. But the point is, those posts are meant to inspire. And I'm going to tell you something. I have people who write me regularly and say that sometimes the things that I post are right what they need to hear. And that really makes me feel good because, believe it or not, I labor over these posts, and I really try to find the right messages. And a lot of times those messages, they touch me. I see them and I'm like, oh wow, that's a great message. And it's also for me because I like to go back on my wall and get some encouragement. And some of these posts are just so inspiring and empowering, and the feedback that I get from people, that they look forward to it. So that makes me feel great. Like, okay, it's not for nothing I'm doing this, but so some of these things are inspired, and the fact that it's touching people really makes me keep doing it. So every day I try to, or not every day, I don't try, I do it. I really try to encourage and inspire whatever I do. If you notice, most of my posts are that way. I really don't have a whole lot of other stuff, but every now and then I'll find something funny I'll try to share. But the whole point is to inspire. And number 3, the third point I want to say is share your message. So with with that intention that I have to inspire, all of my music, all of my blogs, all of my speeches, everything is all about inspiring and sharing. And I have Write Your Autobiography because, you never know. Your message, your story could inspire someone, could touch someone on your journey. So, you see those professional artists who have their autobiography, but I think you should, or your legacy, and I wanted to share something. I don't know if I'm saying this right. I don't think she's on the line, but I had an expert in my section on, I think it was it live performance? Yeah, I think it was the live performance section, Dr. Angela Williams. She had a beautiful message, and her message, I'm paraphrasing it because I don't have the exact wording, but she says something that to me resonates with your message. She said that someone is waiting on your message. So that message, that book that you haven't written, that song that you haven't written, that poem that you haven't written, that inspirational post that you haven't written, somebody needs to hear it. So you need to share it, basically. And I thought that was a wonderful message. So someone is waiting on what you need to share. So, but that's my message today. It's really short, but I just wanted to really just reinforce the importance of your message in communication and in your image. So all of this stuff is about your image, and it's about what you're bringing to the table as an artist. We're all unique. We all have, as singers, we all have different textures to our voices. We all have different levels to our voices, and we all have different gifts and messages. And so I want to encourage everyone to share your gift. But if you don't know what it is, you need to look inside and think about what it is. What am I trying to share when I share my music? When I get on that stage and I perform, what am I trying to say to the audience. So I hope this is helpful. Let me just give you a little bit of a recap. First, identify your message. What is it that you're trying to, like what I just said? 2, incorporate your message in everything you do. So that message is in the back of your mind. Everything you do, for me, is to inspire. Number 3, share your message. So that kind of goes along with number 2. So that means all your put out the music, your books, your speaking, every time you interview, every time, whatever you do, your services, always have that message in mind. So as Dr. Angela Williams, who was one of my special guests, said, that someone is waiting to hear that message. So I hope this was helpful. Let me know if you guys find this helpful. And that's another thing. If you find, I'm sorry, this lighting is so crazy. If you find these singing tips helpful, please let me know. I need some testimonials. I need to know what you find helpful about them. And if I'm able to share them, I want to put them in a book that I'm working on. So, hi, Debbie. How are you? It's so great to see you here on Singing Tips. Michael, hello. Wow, we got some new people on Singing Tips. Hi there. So if you're new to Singing Tips, every week I give singing tips to beginner singers to help them become professional. We've covered everything from your talent to live performance to your original music, and now we're talking about your image. So all of the messages, all of the tips that we've been dealing with for the last few weeks. Oh, I got a heart on that. Has been about your image. So each section we have about 10 tips in each section. We have a show part and we have a business part. So all of the stuff we've been talking about has been the show part. We're getting ready to move into the business part, because the business part is as important, or even sometimes a little bit more important, because that's how you generate your money. But yeah, so all of the tips that we talked about in this section is the image. So we talked about your appearance. We talked about your self-image. We talked about effective communication was last week. And this week we're talking about your message as part of communication in your image, your message. So what is it you're trying to convey to the world? For me, my message is to inspire. So everything that I do, it's all about inspiring people. Now, if you ever come across something that I'm doing and it's not inspiring, let me know. But that is my intention. So just wanted to encourage the artists to think about their message. If they don't know what it is, think about it, because everything that they do, their message should be a part of it. So everything that I do should be about inspiring, and I try. Hi, Livingston. Thanks for joining. Jacqueline, thank you so much for joining. Wow, thank you everyone for joining for Singing Tips. I'm just about to wrap up so you can catch the replay, but just to give you just a recap of what I'm talking about is, as artists, your image, and we're talking about your message. So what is your message? Identify your message, incorporate your message in everything you do. And what was the last one? Share your message. So everything that your message should be in everything you put out, your books, your music, your blogs, your speaking, everything. People should know what your message is. So hopefully you all know by now that my message is to inspire. So I hope that you guys are having a wonderful weekend. I hope this was helpful. So if this was helpful to you, can you please put a number 1 in the comments? Please put a number 1 if this was helpful to you. Also, I'm looking for testimonials, as I said before. So if you've been coming to these Singing Tips every week and you found value, or you were able to use some of the advice that I've been giving, please let me know, because I am looking for testimonials. It would be nice to know that all of this is not in vain. So I hope that it's helpful, because it's definitely helping me. And they say, the teacher always learns from the student. So it's just inspiring me, just knowing that I'm making a difference in someone's life It's inspiring to me. If you want to connect with me outside of Singing Tips, I have a Facebook group called the Born to Sing Society. And last week I said the address wrong. It's bit.ly// Born to Sing 17. I think I should HTTP, but it's not. It's bit.ly Born to Sing 17. Oh, it's backwards. Okay. But if you go to Facebook and go to the search, just search the Born to Sing Society. There's no other Facebook group like that. But I post inspirational things in there, of course, inspire, and all the happenings. And then I have other artists are free to post things as well. I have a blog, so if you want to go back to any of the singing tips, go to Instagram, BCM Sings on Instagram. Click on the bio. It takes you to the Singing Tips blog. What else we got? Sorry. Oh, yeah, I forgot to mention that. So, I don't know if you guys saw, I posted that Singing Tips is now on Tuskegee Television. They reached out to me and wanted to include Singing Tips on their network, so I was really excited about that. So Singing Tips is now on Tuskegee Television Network off of YouTube. So I'll put the video up again. But yeah, so that's a whole new audience. They're affiliated with Tuskegee Institute, so I'm really excited about that. And it's a little bit of a different format. Like, it's a little bit longer than these Singing Tips, but so you can, and I'm starting from ground zero, so I'm kind of starting over there. It's a little weird. I'm advanced here, starting over there, but that's okay. I mean, it's all value, but I'm excited about that. So hopefully you could check that out. Well, I'll repost the video so you could check that out. And I think that's it. I have an email, so it's singingtips.bcm@gmail if you want to email me. So we're just plugging along here. But thank you so much for your support. I hope you're finding these tips helpful. And I will see you again next week. Hold on one second. I'm sorry. Sorry, I had to take a little drink. But I hope that you're having a great evening. And always remember, you were born for this. You were born to sing, sharing joy and love. Spread your mighty wings. Be free and sing. Keep on singing. Keep on shining. Keep on creating music. Keep on sharing your message. And I'll see you next time on Singing Tips. Thanks so much.